Hey guys, how you going? Paul Walker, and I'm just shooting a really quick video from my home office here on the beautiful Gold Coast in Australia. And I'm just really shooting this video because I literally just got off watching probably the most powerful webinar I've ever seen in my life. And a big shout out to Mark Hoverson, Vincent Ortega Jr., and Clifford Hatfield for what they've been doing with ILN, which is the Internet Lifestyle Network. Now, in this particular webinar, Mark Hoverson really talked about, the sea of opportunity that's really open to every one of us on this planet. And he told a great story and, went through a lot of things in history that have really, changed his life. And the biggest thing I took away, and I guess the analogy that I'm going to use is similar to the story that Mark told, which is, if two people were to walk out onto an open field, okay, just a open field of grass, but they were given the same tools. So they were given a shovel, they were given a bucket, a spade, a wheelbarrow, whatever the case may be. What's the difference between, what each of those guys can create? And really it comes down to this. There's two types of people in the world. The first guy looks at that open field, he looks at the shovel, he looks at the bucket, and all he sees is an open field. And that's unfortunately where 95% of the population falls into. Okay, they look at an opportunity, they look at what's going on in their life, and they can't see any further than what's right in front of them. Whereas the other guy looks at that open field, he grabs his shovel, he grabs his bucket, and he sees wealth. He sees an area where he can plant and grow crops, to provide him a sustainable food source, and obviously to trade off and sell to other people in exchange for other things. He sees an area where he can have livestock. Again, he can provide himself a sustainable food source. He can, use those animals to provide, clothing and again, exchange and sell for other goods. And he sees in that same field an area where he can plant trees, to provide shelter, use that wood to, build houses and put a roof over his head and use that for firewood. And that's really the difference between, the two people and, what's really going on in the world today. Because unfortunately, I think we've all been sort of drummed into this, well, it's an open field and, I can't really do anything unless someone tells me that there's something to do. Whereas if we can look at that open field with the tools that are available to us, so we've all got access to the internet, we've got access to books and libraries, other training materials, other education facilities, people of knowledge, of influence. And it's really a matter of just understanding what is available and then using what's in your noggin here and just running with an opportunity. And that was the biggest thing I took away from this webinar, because I was someone who looked at an open field and all I saw was an open field. Not that long ago, I decided that, this open field had to provide me something. I just didn't know how. I just didn't know what I could do with this open field. But slowly but surely, I've been able to understand that just with the same tools that are provided and using a little bit of imagination and visualization, you can go on and create whatever it is that you want to create in your life. And that was the biggest thing I took away from this webinar. It's absolutely just given me, as I said, probably one of the biggest mind shifts I've ever had in my life. I unfortunately didn't grow up with, parents or people around me of really an influence to show me that there was a different way of going on to create your own wealth. And I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about, relationships, building relationships with people and connecting with other people, a better, healthy way of living. And, I love my parents dearly and I wouldn't change my childhood for anything, but it only got me so far. And this webinar today showed me that there's a different way. And really, it just comes down to applying and using the tools and the opportunity that are available to each and every one of us. So if you'd like to know more, and I can't suggest highly anymore that you need to come check out this webinar. Just take a few moments out of your busy day, just take a few moments out of your life, come check out this webinar, and I guarantee you'll have a mental mind shift. I can absolutely guarantee that, because it's not just me. There was over 1,000 people on this webinar today, and over the last 2 weeks, there's been 1,000 other people, all having their own $1 million day and wiping out 500 years worth of procrastination. I had my $1 million day just a couple of days ago, and I've still got another 2 more days to go to wipe out all the procrastination, all the crap that I've allowed to build up in my life. So if your life is not where you wanted it to be, if you're not happy with your current circumstances and maybe think that there's something better, available to you, then just take a few moments out of your day, a few moments out of your life today. Click the link that is below this video, watch this webinar, and as I said, come be a part of, what's happening with ILN. And I can, as I said, guarantee that you will have an absolute mental mind shift. All right, guys, well, I've got to get back to it. I've got to continue, going through my notes, preparing my next $1 million day, and really, just as I said, powering on with a new vision and a new way of life. So come check out this video. As I said, I'd love to chat to you. I'd love to talk to you and potentially even work with you within the ILN. And as I said, click that link below. You'll find out a lot more. Come see what we've all been watching today on this powerful webinar. And as I say, come be a part of a group that I guarantee will help you get whatever it is that you want out of life. All right, guys, it's Paul Walker, and I'll speak to you guys real soon. See ya. Bye.